Bear Nation and the Asian intelligence counterintelligence operatives over here. I'm Bear with BearIndependent.com. If you're new here, don't be a schlub. Subscribe, especially you people over here in the TikToks. If you're looking for actual truth, we do our best to deliver that. If you're not new here, you know what to do. Share the show. People need this information to navigate the crazy freaking world ahead. We're going to do the brief today. We're going to talk about some systemic failures. We're going to do national intel reporting from across the country, in some cases the globe. But first, a little bit about what President Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. asterisk said last night. A lot of people are all up in arms about that. Did you see what he said? Yeah, he's a piece of garbage politician, and there is an ever-growing political divide in the United States of America. And every single word he said was calculated to elicit an emotional response either from his supporters or from his opponents. Yeah, I saw what it said. It's like, did you see when the Cowboys scored a field goal on the Patriots? I don't care. I don't support either team. I don't care. Oh, Biden's an asshole. I know. They're going to take away our rights. I've been saying that for decades. But they're going to, MAGA extremists. Yes, we've known this for a couple of years. They already labeled you a domestic terrorist. These are not surprises. Stop emoting. Stop with the feels. Okay? The feels don't matter. Brain power matters. Logic matters. Stop with the feels. This is an overarching synchronistic theme amongst many of the people, the brethren that I support and follow. The Father has been smashing people in the face with this lately. Stop with the feels. Your brain cannot be emotional and logical at the same time. They're separate hemispheres of your brain. This side doesn't work when this side's on, and vice versa. They don't work at the same time. So you cannot make logical decisions while emotional, which is why they're poking all your little emotional buttons, get you all spun up. Politico had an interesting article on this, Dateline Philadelphia, with a stern warning about the future of the nation's democracy. President Joe Biden, asterisk, commanded a primetime stage Thursday in Philadelphia and singled out his predecessor as an example of the extremism that he believes, quote, threatens the very republic. As I stand here tonight, equality and democracy are under assault. We do no favor to pretend otherwise, Biden declared. We have to be honest with each other and ourselves. Too much of what is happening in our country today is not normal. I agree with that completely. I'm just 100% on the other side of the spectrum. It's not normal. You're totally correct. It's not normal. Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very republic, Biden said in a rare moment of calling out his predecessor by name. Democracy cannot, we have a representative republic, asshole. Democracy cannot survive when one side believes that there are only two outcomes to an election. Either they win or they were cheated, end quote. Does anybody remember Hillary's claims after her little election? Either they win or they were cheated? I'm pretty sure she's not a MAGA Republican. It's all a game of narratives, fifth generation warfare. You can have an awesome day today. You can have an awesome Friday. You can do stuff that matters. You can love on people. You can make forward progress in your home, in your community, in your faith group. You can come closer to the Father today, or you can be pissed off that an 80-something-year-old senile grandpa said some shit that you didn't like. Well, this country's going to hell in a handbasket. Yeah, it is. But Trump emotes Operation Warp Speed, bump stocks, grab them by the pussy. You mad now? Cool, me too. Let's all be super emotional today. Here's the brief. Interesting. Systemic failure. The capital of Mississippi has been 4 days with little to no running water, and often it is cloudy or brown. For decades, authorities deferred maintenance for the water treatment plant, and now they are reaping what they have sown amid persisting supply chain issues. A boil water notice has already been in effect for over a month, and after river flooding pushed the main treatment plant over the edge, authorities predict issues may persist for some time. Mayor Chakwi Antar Lumumba has. That is a freaking mouthful. I'm going to try it again. I don't know if I can get it right twice in a row. Mayor Chakwi Antar Lumumba has said that it would be roughly $1 billion to fix the water system because it has been so badly neglected. At least a rental pump was installed on Wednesday, which should add 4 million gallons to the supply. So far, schools have been closed, businesses have struggled, and the city's 150,000 residents, this being the capital of Mississippi, have had to wait in long queues for bottled water from the National Guard distribution sites. Imagine that. I'll never stand in the bread line. Hey, there's no water. You want some water? I guess I'm going to get in the bottled water line. Okay. It may be a big story because it's a major city, but one Bear National wrote in saying, quote, I live in a small town in Middle Tennessee. For the second time in the past several months, the city has experienced a water outage. But this time, the entire city has been impacted. All city offices have been officially closed for the rest of the day. According to the city's Facebook page, the water plant experienced a chemical issue that it required it to shut down. It has since been corrected, but the city will be without water until the tanks can be refilled. They did not specify how long this will take. By the way, what's up, Sarah Guptilly? Shalom. By the way, most preppers, to the extent that people are prepping at all, your water storage sucks. 99-point-something% of y'all, your water storage sucks. You don't even have filled water containers in your bug out bags. If you even have a bug out bag. I hear from a lot of people like, I'll stop and get some water. Okay, where? Why are you stopping? Where do predators hunt? Right, Whiskey Charlie? Right? Where do predators hunt? The watering holes. You ever see like a yak on the Serengeti, and there's like a nice, beautiful watering hole right there, and the yak, he's got his little curly Q horns, right? And he like walks over to the water. Bang! Crocodile. Boom! Right? Or out of the bushes, here comes a lion, right? Or some white dude on safaris. That yak looks delicious. I'll just fill my water bottles on the way out of town. What's up, T-Boy Rex? Good morning, brother. So, they did not specify how long it will take to refill the tanks in this one town. They are issuing a drought plan and would like everyone to not use water until further notice. BT Dubs, if you guys could just go ahead and be not 70% made of water for a while until the government figures out its job, that would be great. Do not eat, do not drink, do not wash, do not prepare food at all. No sanitation, nothing. Do nothing. Stop being alive, basically. Would like everyone to not use water until further notice. No word yet on what the cause of the issue may be, but it's consistent with a potential shortage of water treatment chemicals. It also may be related to recent heavy rains and flooding. End quote. Just 1 month ago, San Diego, which I have on good authority means a whale's vagina. I saw in a documentary one time about news and how news is produced. I believe it was called Anchorman. Fabulous investigatory piece of work. Just 1 month ago, San Diego was forced to give emergency authorization to pay an extra $80 million to chemical suppliers for desperately needed water sanitation chemicals. Raw materials, fuel, and supply chain related issues were blamed for the drastic price hike. nearly double the cost across all 6 contracts for the city that it had with its suppliers. Moreover, it is possible that a similar price hike could happen again in a few years, depending on just how bad things get. What's up, Frank Chupinka? That's Frank the Tank. Frank is the size of this table. I could break it in half. Good dude. Mm-hmm. We met in Philly. Frank the Tank. Let's see. Water sanitation is not the only issue that could potentially threaten the supply of clean running water. In one recent example, Cambridge, Massachusetts discovered PFAS, forever chemicals, were contaminating their water supply. So, to the tune of $2 million a month, Cambridge is temporarily switching its water supplier to 2 different reservoirs. Not every place on the map has $2 million a month like Cambridge. What happens when similar issues hit small towns and cities across the country? Just don't use water anymore. Now, if you're on Patreon, you have the links to the brief. If you're not on Patreon, you don't. It's the beginning of the month. It's the best time of the month to join Patreon. It's $5 a month. If you don't have $5 a month, get off your damn iPhone and get your ass to work. I'm on fixed income. Do something else in addition to your fixed income. You're all like, F the system. Rah! F the system. Also, I'm on fixed income, so I just can't have it. I thought we were effing the system. What happened here? The government sucks, but also nice tits. Can I suck on them? Did I just say that shit out loud?
Yeah.
Wow. Been a little rough around the edges lately. From the Bear Nation, for the Bear Nation, here's some bonus intel. Medical. On 26 August 22, my first son was born. We hadn't planned on going early, but because of my wife's preeclampsia, we went about 2.5 weeks early. Thanks to the grace of God and the prayers to our Creator, everything went perfectly and everyone is healthy. Because of supply chain shortages, I asked the doctors and nurses if they were having trouble getting supplies. All of them told me the same thing. There's a list of needed supplies that's always there and seems to be growing by the day. Our city lasted a while not having this problem, but it catches up everywhere. My mother's also an EMT, emergency medical technician, part-time, and says they have the same problem at her station. There's also more and more crazies every day. It's a serious problem. I used to see at least 3 or 4 people either high or with serious mental illnesses on the way to and from work. This was never a problem in the past. You know, I read intel every day. Part of my job. Some of it's from you, most of it's for you. A good portion of it, y'all will never see. Medical's an issue. Go watch Southern Prepper 1, Dave. Medical's an issue. There's at least one place I know of where it's not an issue, and that's RefugeMedical.com, where because we have a badass team, basically everything's in stock. Right? Mm-hmm. Basically everything's in stock. And I think right now, National Preparedness Month promo. Oh my gosh, she's ShamWowing us. Yeah. You can have another hour of my life for free, just hanging there for 30 seconds. If you spend $150 or more, you get a free cat tourniquet. Oh yeah, we have cat tourniquets back in stock, BT dubs. $150 or more gets you a free cat tourniquet. $300 or more gets you a free bleeding control kit, which is a tourniquet, pressure, bandage, wound packing gauze, shears, gloves, burrito blanket, etc. Mm-hmm. Free bleeding control kit, over $300. And if you spend $400 or more, you get a free wound care bucket. That's a $139 value with a $400 order. Free wound care bucket. So, yeah, we have all the things, and it's National Preparedness Month. So you better take your National Preparedness rear end over to RefugeMedical.com. Use your HSA, your FSA, your whatever, SA. Go over there, get the things, do the things. That promotion is a week long, I believe, right? We're doing that the whole month.
I don't know. I think it's till supplies last.
Oh, right. It's until supplies. I was going to say we should ask the boss. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's right. It's until supplies last, or as supplies last, until we run out. So, anywho's, food and agriculture, quote, since we moved to the country last fall, we've eaten a lot of peaches because the presidents of the United States of America wrote a song about that. Moving to the country, you're going to eat a lot of peaches.
It's my son's favorite song.
Yeah, I mean, peaches come in a can. They were put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day, you know. Since we moved to the country last fall, we have plenty of fields around us, and the farmers were taking their time putting in crops and taking them out. There's also a few fields that are sitting growing weeds. I'm friends with quite a few farmers in the area, some of whom, most of the farmland, some with some of, okay, Bear Nation, I love y'all, but we got to work on syntax and spelling. Some with some of the most farmland in Ohio that are saying that they're having issues getting parts for equipment, getting seeds, and employees. This is being seen everywhere, so again, it's no surprise. I work for Walmart as an asset protection operations manager in Pennsylvania. Our region covers most of the Northeast. We have experienced service interruptions processing EBT and food stamps at the checkouts. Yup. The regional manager confirmed that this is currently affecting locations across 20 states. F the government! Also, here's my government money to buy food with. Somehow. At my location, we've seen consistent theft activity by individuals with EBT and food stamps scanning qualifying items and simply not scanning anything else before paying with their government subsidy and stealing the rest. Recent apprehensions have involved people who are out of work or have had to find new jobs with lower pay than they are used to. They try to justify the theft by saying they're hungry and ask for the pity. None of them get caught stealing peanut butter and jelly, though, more like crab legs, automotive, electronics, and flat screen televisions.
Because you can eat a flat screen.
I was going to say, you mean to tell me that the food card doesn't work for flat screens?
Man.
Shit. There goes that plan. It's like...
I was so hungry.
We slather a little peanut butter on the TV, just lick it off. It's got a really weird mental image. From your friendly Fed at the USDA, Secretary Vilsack has introduced a federal program, the People's Garden Initiative. Might I be in agreement with the federal government on this one? Essentially, this program is supposed to educate citizens to grow a fraction of their own food and learn about conservation practices. While most folks out in the country have had gardens for time in memoriam, the practice of growing some of your own food has been greatly diminished in urban settings for 80 years. I agree. The USDA has announced that they are opening Farm Service Agency offices in Albuquerque, Atlanta, Detroit, Cleveland, Dallas, Grand Rapids, Philadelphia, Minneapolis, Chicago, Portland, New Orleans, Brooklyn, New York. Wow. Richmond, Virginia, Phoenix, Oakland, California, St. Louis, Mo, and Los Angeles, Ka. In other words, they are attempting to prep the urban masses to develop systems of resilience and build small levels of self-resilience. This self-reliance. This is scary because farming is a lifelong skill in terms of building proficiency. It's also pulling resources away from producers who actually contribute to global calories. It is incredibly important to develop these skills and nurture learning about food systems, but opening FSA offices in these locations is blatant desperation. Good initiative, bad judgment at best, bad timing. Maybe, maybe not. 90% of people aren't going to do anything until it's almost too late to do something, at a minimum. You're telling me that the urban centers are going to get educated on how to produce their own food? I think that's a good thing. Should they have been doing this the last 80 years? Yes. Should you have been living out in the country, raising your own, acorn-fed sheep back in the woods and making your own burkas out of wool and, making your own ammunition? And yeah, probably. Probably. But you didn't. Neither did I. we're here now. Okay? So, good. Let them learn how to grow food. The more food they have, the less pressure they take off of the system and you. Right? Because if they have their own potatoes to eat, they don't need to act violently to get your potatoes. By the way, I am 100% on board with the concept of making potatoes the currency of the new republic. They have inherent value. We can turn them into vodka. You can run a light bulb with them if you string wire in between them. Incandescent. I've never tried an LED. I just think potatoes. Like, well, we're drifting in the direction of communism anyway. USSR, potatoes. Let's do it, right? Potatoes. And then, you plant some green stuff. Like, your white stuff is where you get, like, the bulk of your calories from. Like bread, potatoes, corn, right? And then your green stuff and your red stuff and your purple stuff is where you get your micronutrients from, right? Cool. And then your red stuff is the meat. Right? Yeah. I know most of y'all are like, oh my gosh, does he kill animals? Yeah, all the time. And I put them in my belly. And you know what? I'm a little aggressive about it. I eat a lot of meat. And as such, I don't give a flying shit about, like, the weakness of the world judging me. It raises your testosterone levels, I've been told. And I was already an A+ personality, so. Oh well. But yeah, so the cities are going to grow their own food. Cool. Good. Get good out of it. You're going to need those taters for currency and the new Republic of the United Socialist Soviet States of America. Taters. Good. Security. Quote, confirmed multiple special forces groups are turning in Carl G's under the shared understanding of being sent to Ukraine. Ugh. There is a disparity regarding what's being turned in. Some have reported they've only been told to turn in their older models and haven't been told to turn in their newer models yet. Some are confirming all models have been ordered to be turned in. 75th Ranger Battalion is currently being ordered to turn in a large amount of inventory. Carls are on the list, Carl Gustav, but the extent of how many is unknown. Confirmation is based on trusted sources plus multiple independent corroborating accounts. Unconfirmed, a wide range of anecdotal accounts regarding turning of equipment is pouring in. Unverified sources from special forces and traditional infantry, both Army and Marine Corps plus other MOSs, have stated that their Javelins, HIMARS, and other rocket systems have been pilfered. The consensus is they're being told it's being sent to Ukraine. Yuck. You can send them here. We need them to protect the taters. See, this is one of those things that I've known about that I just now got to tell you all about. So, like, I don't like it, but I'm not surprised by it because I knew about it. But yeah, we're not, like, when we say we're taking weapons out of inventory to send to Ukraine, it's not just the warehouses full of weapons. It's away from units right now. Who is doing two-way radios brand? I don't know. How many potatoes for Yesu? That's what I need to know. In Rapid City, South Dakota, there's been numerous shootings, 6 in the last week. As a bouncer, it's part of my job to keep track of what's going on in the city. I had some members of the RCPD, Rapid City Police Department, tell me they were all gang-related. If anyone has ever been up to Rapid City, you'd know that this is not the norm. A gang task force was started for the city of Rapid City in 2016 to 2018. That should tell you how little gang activity the city has seen in its lifetime. In the past few years, we've had a major influx of people from California moving up here. It seems as if they brought the gang violence with them. They're sadly mistaken if they think South Dakotans are easy targets. Most carry and are ready for a fight, but overall it is sad to see this happening in the city I grew up in. Good. Empower the RCPD and the gang task force with every piece of intelligence you can. There's a disconnect, I think, with a lot of people, and it's a shame. Not all law enforcement officers are the bomb, but most are. Most are. That's been my experience. There's bad ones. Like, there's bad everybody. There's bad kindergarten teachers. Or you think, like, oh, they just love the kids. They're so good with them. Like, some of them are assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, there's bad everybody everywhere. Like, it's just a distribution of humanity. Like, not everybody's going to be great at everything all the time, including law enforcement. But most of them are good officers. And this whole, like, the government is Satan thing. Like, which government? The county sheriff who lives in your community, polices your community, whose kids go to school with your kids, that guy's Satan? Like, probably not. The police chief in your little town? Probably not an agent of Satan. Willing to bet. Like, probably a pretty good guy. And if he's a pretty good guy and your people aren't aligned with him, you might want to ask yourself, why are we ideologically misaligned with these people who are trying to protect our society? Interesting question. Empower your law enforcement officers to do their job. You know what it takes to get convictions? Eyewitness testimony. That's what it takes. If you're an eyewitness, go testify. Go talk to them. The rumor mill is not adequate to put bad guys in jail. Like, somebody has to go testify, provide evidence, material evidence. So if you see stuff like this happening in North Dakota or South Dakota or whatever Dakota you're from, South Dakota, if you can assist the law enforcement in any way, do it. And then I like the part about, hey, we all carry guns, bad place for gangs. I agree. That's hard power. Where's Yankee been? At the office doing Yankee stuff? Go ask him. If you watched the tourniquet video yesterday for National Preparedness Month, then you would have seen Yankee lurking in the background. Go watch it again. I had a long conversation with a good friend in the grain business in Canada last week, and I was extremely pleased with the awareness of the situation and resolve she has. She says there's plenty of grain in North America, at least this year, but they're having great difficulties in shipping it. Canada and the USA will have grain, but they're very worried about starvation in third world countries. That is shocking considering the amount of grain and cereals they process. Their analysts have been having regular panic attacks. She said Ukraine is being used as the excuse for shortages, but the real shortages are being caused by shipping. They are concerned with government intervention, especially the fertilizer rules Trudeau is trying to implement. How has that guy not been literally drug out of office and tarred and feathered? Oh, right, because... And Canadians, I'm not getting mad at you particularly, but they're like, you can have a 5-round magazine. Okay, get good at mag changes. Use them. Let's see. But the real shortages are being caused by shipping. They're concerned with government intervention, especially the fertilizer rules Trudeau is trying to implement. However, they have fought for their employees through the pandemic to the ire of the government and are not backing down. They started to get heat from the media, but that is only entrenching their resolve. This is a private Christian-headed company. We need more Christian companies, and we need to support the ones we have now. I agree with that. I also agree that if you claim the name of Mashiach, of Messiah, you better do stuff. Do the hard stuff. Don't be a whiny, sopping, wet P-word. Well, I know it's really hard out there, brother. It's just, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Love your brother. Love the sinner. Hate the sin. It's like, you can also literally tie big rocks around pedophiles' necks and push them to the ocean. Like, yeah, Jesus said that. That's cool. Like, you're allowed to do that. Maybe we should do some of that. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8, he who does not work has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. There's also that. There's also Revelation 22. Behold, I come swiftly to give to each man according to his works. Like, you should go do stuff. Not just, God is love. Like, he's also action. literally the first letter in his name, the Yod Hey Vav Hey, the tetragrammaton, YHVH. The Yod means works. The first letter in his name means go do shit. So, I'm praying for you, brother. Cool. Pray for me and then go do shit. Awesome. I work at a safe company in Dallas, Texas. Move! We produce smart safes. Our customers include individuals, convenience stores, etc. We are very short of specific components that allow for our safes to operate. Massive orders that were meant to go back out in the spring are now slated in October, and that is becoming questionable as October approaches. We've sourced as much as we can to no avail. We sold a brand new safe. When we sold a brand new safe, we were always picky about making sure all components were brand new. Now we are literally slapping parts together and crossing our fingers. Oh, that's cool. Wrote in a few weeks back about tire issues. The summer is coming to a rather swift end. With it, the news from the summer sales meetings. 3 of our 4 sales reps have stopped, and the stories have been the same for all of them. Major good news is there's apparently 132 shipping containers full of various tires due to be delivered in the coming weeks near late September. Bad news is they'll be divided into 66 major warehouses for distribution. So that's 2 Connex boxes per distribution center. It's 2 semi-loads. That's not a lot. Passenger and light truck tires becoming more available, with many providing a fall mail-in rebate. Big truck tires are steadily becoming available in the low profile and standard 22.5 inch, both tall and low pro. 22.5s are still an issue. Many foreign, I think it's Max that run 24.5s, but I don't remember. It's been a hot minute since I've been in the we have lots of big truck game. Let's see, 24.5s are still an issue. Many foreign manufacturers have a steady production for semi-tires, but probably the worst news is that Michelin will no longer be producing low pro or tall 24.5s. They have gotten out of that game altogether. Agriculture is a living nightmare, with both radial and bias ply tires not being available for many antique tractors, and tires for most European equipment are non-existent. Currently, one of our suppliers stated a 6-month-old order for combine tires due in early August has been moved back to mid-November. It is becoming a matter of, if I can get it ordered today, I might not be able to tomorrow if you wait. I recommend folks be vigilant of their vehicles and equipment. If it's going to be an issue tomorrow, then fix it today. The market for tires is very volatile at this time, and it seems it could dry up at any moment due to the majority of all tire manufacturers come from overseas. I've honestly been thinking about, it's going to cost some bucks, which is why I haven't done it yet. But I've been thinking about getting a spare set of sneakers for my truck and for my wife's car, both of which have great tires on them, but you never know. And another thing that people miss all the time, and we know this from doing disaster relief with Grindstone Ministries, tires, they'll go like that. It's nothing. I expect to do a minimum of 3 tires on a quick deployment. We've dozens of tires. Yeah, because there's debris and fasteners and sharp rocks and nastiness and off-roading and rebar, and it's a mess, literally. That's why we're there, to clean it up. But anyway, I've been thinking about getting some extra shoes for the truck, just stacking them behind the barn. I know a tire guy. It's pretty awesome. He's my brother. If you've ever bought anything from RefugeMedical.com, my tire guy shipped your box to you. Good morning, brother. Issues in labor are showing themselves to be more and more, with delivery drivers quitting or not showing up, making the sales personnel have to carry the brunt of deliveries on top of their daily duties. And bonus, today, the largest Austrian energy company, Wien Energy, or Energy Systems Vienna, became insolvent. Debts 6 to 10 billion euro. A city of 2 million people is threatened with no electricity and no gas by the middle of September. And that is just one of 9 provinces. Do the math. The province of Vienna, which is 100% owner of Energy Systems Vienna, is unable to come up with the money. There is one emergency meeting in the Federal Ministry of Finance and the largest bank after the other. If that is not contained, it will cascade into the wider European Union. Interesting times ahead. And that's the brief and the extra intel for today. If you're one of those people that jumps off when it's time to talk about how to support the show, cool, you do you, boo. If you want to be a subpar human being, that's your prerogative. Beat feet, have a blessed day, shalom, get out of here. Skedaddle. Bye. For everybody else, it's got a modicum of respectability and understands that time is value and I will never get these minutes back again. If you're willing to hear me pontificate for a drink, take a shot, Bear said pontificate. If you're willing to hear me pontificate for a couple of minutes about how you can help our American-made small businesses that actually save people's lives, then yeah, it's time to listen. Okay? Tracking? Patreon.com. There's a link in the description to every video and live stream. It's $5 per month if you don't have $5 to spend on how to not die when the world ends, but you're on your phone right now, like this, or like this, listening or watching. Maybe prioritize your life a little bit differently. It's the beginning of the month. It's $5 per month. The best time to sign up is the beginning of the month. There's over 3,000 exclusive pieces of content on Patreon. 3,000. No, I'm not exaggerating. Today's Friday. On Wednesday, there were 7 posts to Patreon. On YouTube, there was 1. On Thursday, yesterday, there were 5 posts to Patreon. On YouTube, there was gonna be 0, but instead I did a tourniquet video. You get the point here. Most of the stuff lives over on Patreon. Well, I heard they took down Sargon of Akkad and they're against free speech. Shut up. They didn't mess with me. Okay? So Patreon, check it out. If you want to understand the fine art of how to not die in the coming world chaos, yeah, Patreon. Now, it is National Preparedness Month. What that means from me is that you will probably be seeing videos from me every day this month about some shit that you need to know about how to stay prepared so that you don't die when the world ends, so that your well-being is not, you haven't hitched your wagon to the system, because newsflash, the system is diseased and on fire and dying, okay? So you don't want that too, right? Keep sin outside the camp. Keep the sick people outside the camp. Separate yourselves. That's literally what the word holy means. Holy means sanctified, which means set apart, which means separated. Stay the hell away from the dangerous sick people, okay? So, I'll be doing some preparedness videos this month, National Preparedness Month. Additionally, at refugemedical.com, shameless plug, I'm the owner, founder, and CEO of refugemedical.com. I know, right? I can't believe this guy talks about his first aid kits all the time. Also, we need to take America back. But capitalism is evil. Like, what do you want then? Let's all just start trading potatoes. Britt, sorry, I gotta pay you in potatoes now. We don't do capitalism anymore. The Overton window has shifted enough. The people who claim to be Americans and claim to be conservatives get pissed off when you talk about how to do business after feeding them free information for 40 minutes. I know, like, yeah. Ooh, the ego, it hurts, right? Oh, you hit me right in the feels, Bear. How dare you? Yeah, I founded that freaking business in my barn. With $1,000 of my own money, and now we're on 4 continents with all branches of the U.S. Armed Forces electively. Thousands of law enforcement officers equipped, 51 lives saved to date, a couple thousand people trained in the fine art of how to not die, 20 families eat because of this business, and I don't take a salary from it. And it's the best first aid kit you can buy on planet Earth. Okay? Guaranteed forever, made in America. Refugemedical.com. You spend $150 or more, you get a cat tourniquet, Cat Gen 7, legitimate North American Rescue Cat Gen 7 tourniquet for free. No questions asked. $150 at Refuge Medical right now. By the way, good luck finding cat tourniquets anywhere else right now. I have a badass team, so I have some. Isn't it a privilege to have a barn? No, it's not, because I spent a lot of effing money to buy the barn. So tell me about the privilege part where I busted my ass 70, 80, 90 hours a week while murdering my debt to be able to pay cash for a piece of land with a barn on it. It only took me 5 years to do that. So I guess it was pretty privileged, right? Like, yeah. Nobody wants to talk about that shit because it's not sexy. Everybody, 3 ways to make the perfect Instagram post to get the greater reach to build your business. It's like, no, you should go do shit. That's how you build your business. You spend $300 or more at refugemedical.com. You will get a bleeding control kit. North American Rescue bleeding control kit. You spend $400 or more, you get a Refuge Medical wound care bucket, $139 value for free. So that's Refuge Medical. That's the promo going right now. Your Bear Nation code will not work with that. You're not going to get free shipping and that incredible deal at the same time. I'm sure you guys will find reason to complain about that. But for those of y'all who have been supporting us forever and a day, bless you and thank you for doing so. You can use Bear Nation on anything else and get free shipping. Go for it. Refuge Training. We have a meeting today to start planning our 2023 schedule. There's some Responder 1 slots, which is the Stop the Bleed and March algorithm. Massive bleeding, airway, respiratory, circulation, head injury, hypothermia, everything else. Responder 1, the basic stuff, which our class is way more than basic, but the basics, right? Ground level information. There's Responder 1, there's some slots left in Dallas and Waco. That's it. Everything else is sold out. So if you're near Dallas or Waco, go check it out. And I'm probably just going to quit telling you guys that here in the near future. Like, you're either going to go or you're not. Most of y'all have made up your minds you're not. A few of you have made up your minds that you are, and that's awesome, because the feedback that we get consistently over and over again is it's the best effing class I've ever taken. Somebody said, come to New England, please. No, I'm not driving through New York. Here's why. This holds more than 10 rounds. And I don't ask permission from tyrants. So, refugetraining.com if you want to learn the fine art of how to not die. Oh shit, I forgot, we're on TikTok.
You actually kept most of it off of this screen. So
oh, well.
it was more when you were reholstering.
There we go. We're not going to be allowed to live stream for another 90 days. Screw you, TikTok. Refugetraining.com. And then, of course, Grindstone Ministries. Oh, I forgot. Refuge Medical. If you work in an industry that has OSHA oversight, we're now making the best OSHA first aid kits on the face of the earth as well. Most job site OSHA first aid kits are absolute horseshit. They're terrible. No, Diva Fever, I do not. It's not food. Read Leviticus 11. Most OSHA job site first aid kits are garbage. Ours are not. They're handmade, made in America, guaranteed forever as well. So the new OX or OSHA compliance kit is in stock, ready to ship fast. It exceeds the OSHA specifications of what you need for an OSHA first aid kit. So you can check that out, refugemedical.com. And Grindstone Ministries. If you think it's an abomination that kids are being raped this very moment by their pimps, by their johns that their pimps are pimping them out to. By kids, I mean children as young as 1 year old we currently have in our care at Grindstone Ministries. 1 year old. I'm going to turn a blind eye. 1 year old. How old? 1. 1-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, all in our care right now. I just want to effing kill people when I start talking about this. But not just by their pimps and their johns. by their parents, by their uncles, by their cousins. Grindstone Ministries set out to provide victim services to victims of human trafficking, and we do that. Restoration, relocation, rehabilitation. We have a heart for that. We've also, it's not even a pivot, it's just an expansion. Victims of sex crimes, we're already dealing with trafficking victims. Why not victims of sex crimes? And so we have dozens of people in our care right now. And we have dozens more that we know about that we need to go get. And all that takes money and prayers and brave men who are unafraid of assholes. And so if you'd like to help us F the effing effers, react to contact drill. If you'd like to help us rescue these children, put them in a safe place where we meet their every need, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, financial, educational, while providing house parents insecurity and access to trauma therapists and access to medical personnel, and give them a life again, to provide a biblical covering to widows and orphans and to break generational curses. GrindstoneMinistries.com. And that's why I don't care when you people are like, some of y'all are like, you call yourself a man of God and you said 4-letter words. Yeah, I don't rape children. You're right, I do say 4-letter words. But I don't rape children. In fact, I go take the children from the people who are raping them. And then we make sure that they're safe so that they have a way to be rehabilitated. We provide all of that. And that's not like a year-long program, because you don't tell a 1-year-old, hey, guess what? You have 1 year to get your shit together, and then best of luck. You'll be way stronger at 2 than you were at 1. Figure it out. You smoke and drink, and you call yourself a Christian? No, I call myself a follower of Messiah and a son of the Most High. I'm not into pagan idolatry. And I don't self-identify with a denomination. And I don't care about the judgment that comes from the indoctrination of a denomination or a worldly understanding of how a man of God is supposed to behave, when I can open the book and realize that Elijah was a man of God and he lopped off 400 heads. Samson was a man of God and he killed 1,000 Philistines with the jawbone of an ass. Oh, that was the Old Testament. What about John the Baptist, Yochanan the Immerser? Yeshua himself says, what did you go to see? A soft man? A man of, what did you get? A man of rough speech. A hard man. Cool. So you can be concerned with decorum and 4-letter words. I'm going to make sure that children don't get raped. And maybe there's a place in the middle where we can meet. And if you think that's possible, GrindstoneMinistries.com. Y'all have a blessed day. I have a meeting that I'm about to be late to. I don't care. Shalom.